Upshane ma Africa, asante kwa kutanzama King Says So. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to speak about this video I saw of MOTSOALEDI, the Minister of Health, by the way, who's trying to make an argument in defense of the ANC trying to increase or going to increase VAT. He's trying to say that other opposition parties should not be using the name of the poor in order to say that the ANC does not care about the poor, that's why it's increasing VAT. His argument essentially is that black people are poor not because of VAT, but because of lack of education, lack of jobs, lack of quality healthcare. And this is what I told you yesterday. The ANC simply does not care. You guys have forgiven the ANC 3 million times. About 100 billion times, about 100 billion trillion, Baba. So that's why they can increase VAT and say, stop complaining. You are not poor because of we are increasing VAT. You are poor because you are poor. And people are trying to show the ANC, to say, ANC, you don't care about us. And you saw it in Richmond, where the MK political party is gaining some ground by winning some by-elections there. So congratulations to them for doing a good job there. Let's talk about that, Paseta, and much more.
Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Says So. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane Zinjiva Sono, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, I want to talk about, Aaron MOTSOALEDI's video that disturbed my spirit so much. Before I do that, let's just cover the issue of Paseta. We are having a gala dinner. Ladies and gentlemen, there are some people that called me in, they want to stay a little bit longer in Kimberley instead of just coming for the night of the gala dinner and going the next morning. They want to, have an excursion and enjoy the sights of the Northern Cape, Kimberley, Big Hole, and all of those things. Guys, accommodation is getting booked out very quickly. I called the particular venue that we are using for the gala dinner is already booked out that whole week. Luckily, we managed to secure some few rooms. So please make sure that you get in contact with us. And really, it is an emergency now that you make bookings early, or otherwise you will sleep in a hotel of 2,000 rand per month, per day. So thank you so much for everybody who has purchased their ticket. We are very close to the date. We are now 7 weeks to go. There is no time. It's time to purchase that ticket in order to show your support and your spirit of Pan-Africanism in supporting the gala dinner of Paseta. If you are not going to be able to make it, of course you can just donate 50 rand or more to our account in order to show your support to the vision of building Africanized school. Thank you so much. Any more information you need, go to www.paseta.co.za, and that's where you're going to find all the information you need about the school. Let's talk about Aaron MOTSOALEDI. Before we do that, let's listen to what he said first, because listen to this.
Well, it is their choice. Every party has got their choice, but the minister explained very clearly how this VAT is going to work, and we are asking them never to use the name of the poor. And this is what I'm saying to you now. Poor people in South Africa are not poor because of VAT. They became poor long time ago because land has been taken away from them. And when we try to bring back land, the same people are complaining that no, this is illegal and all that. Black people are poor because they don't have property. And when we think about giving them property, you are told about the property clause in the Constitution. Black people are poor because many cannot be employed because they lack education, because they were fed poisonous bantu education for the past 50 years. When you collect it with a Bella bill, it's the same people who are complaining. Black people are poor because they've been given a different healthcare system from that which has been given to white. When we want to correct it with NHI, they make noise. So it's not true that they are standing for the poor. It is being used as a scapegoat Because if you stand for the poor, you can't miss these things I've mentioned. Land, property, jobs, education, health. Those are the things which apartheid deprived of black people. And anybody who agrees that those must be corrected, then I'll agree that they care about the poor.
And this is what I told you guys yesterday. When I made that video yesterday, I felt like the ANC does not feel like it can get away with anything they do to black people. They know they can. They know they can. You know what? Africa must stop labeling us as one of the ruthless, heartless countries in Africa. South Africans are soft. South Africans are tolerant. South Africans are accepting. South Africans are welcoming. South Africans are friendly. South Africans are full of Ubuntu. And the ANC government has noticed this long time ago. Long time ago. Even during Nelson Mandela realized, he said, hey, people, out of Nelson Mandela's mouth, he said, hey, people, if we do to you what the apartheid government did to you, you guys must turn against us. You must stand up and fight the government. It never happened. The man says they must not use the name of the poor. So we have the poor because you, the government, don't want to change the economical situation of our country. The poor are poor because of, they are not poor because of VAT. Oh, guys, I wonder, is Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi a doctor? For him to say that, he should have added the word only after that statement. Black people are not poor, or poor people are not poor because of VAT only. He was supposed to, that key word was very important to add there. For him not to add that word, it puts a full stop. So VAT can be 18%. You are not poor because of VAT. It's like someone who does not understand how that impacts petrol, business, everything, the food basket, everything. For him to say that is very disappointing, ladies and gentlemen. ANC I straight. He should have kept his mouth shut. Sometimes you can't justify rubbish. You must sit there and say, listen, it is an unforeseen situation, an unfortunate situation where we find ourselves in this situation. It is not a situation that the ANC encourages it. You understand? But, we will look at it and see what we can do best when we deliberate with our other government of national confused parties and see what we can do. Not, hey, stop complaining, man. You're not poor because of VAT. He says the people are poor because of land was taken from them. Yeah, yes, it's true what you are saying, but because of VAT too. So now because land was taken from us, you can increase VAT. You can increase VAT. Yeah, land. You guys are poor. It's like coming in a home where people don't have electricity, they don't have a car, they don't have anything, and you come there, you take the door, and like how you guys were poor anyway. Now you are not going to become more poor when I take this door from your house. I know people are poor because of what did he say? Because they don't have property. Hey, I wish we had property. But the ANC, you've been in power all of these years. You never gave us land. You never gave us land. It is always those mischief RDP 4 corner houses that is good enough for black people. That is, a space where you can't even put a garage. You put a garage, your house blocks the whole yard. That is what is good enough, according to the ANC, for us as black people. Poor because of the education system, the Bantu education system. Yeah, let's blame everything. Let's just blame it. Because what you are saying is true. The Bantu education has affected us as people. That's why we are opening Paseta. But that does not mean that because we have that poor education, you must add on top of our necks and hike VAT. Poor health care. Who's in charge of this healthcare? Who is the minister of this healthcare? Who is responsible to change our situation and give us better healthcare? And I told you guys, it is a risk with the Bella bill. It is a big risk to take your African children and force them in white schools that clearly say, not white schools, Afrikaner Dutch schools that clearly says they don't want your children there. Imagine those racist teachers. Imagine those racist learners. Imagine you putting your child in that situation. I have been there in those schools, ladies and gentlemen. I was in boarding schools most of my schooling career. I know what I'm talking about. I know what the other schools I've been in. We as African people were the minority, because they will have 2 Afrikaans class and 1 English class. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say to you? So this issue of them trying to push the Bella, I'm telling you, it's not a good idea. Yes, there's inclusion, there's integration and everything, but the stories of racism that is going to come out of these schools, you guys will remember my name. Number 2 is the hospital system. You cannot put the burden of public health care in the hands of private doctors. Do you think they're going to handle those numbers? And do you think they're going to treat those numbers fairly, like when they are treating their private clients? Do you honestly think that Dr. Van Tonger or the gynecologist, Mr. Van Veek, is going to treat you the same he treats other people? Do you honestly think that? Why don't you take this money and invest in the public health care and make it world class to a point where people don't see the need to have medical aid anymore? But the ANC does not want to listen to us. You are not poor because of VAT. You are not poor because we are increasing VAT. You are poor, Mar. You are poor anyways. So let's just increase the VAT because you are poor anyways, because of the history of this country. I was surprised to see, not really surprised, but it was a pleasant sight to see that some of the words are getting away from the ANC, because really we cannot deal with people like this. Even the DA says they will not support this, but the DA turned around quickly to say, yeah, no, it's not because of the VAT that we are against this budget. Holistically, the budget is not all right. I'm like, the DA is going to turn around in no time and vote with the ANC in favor of this budget. Trust me. So we see that in Richmond sub-region, Slater VD, the MK has won there with 448 votes. This is very good. I told you guys that in by-elections you just need a few people to participate. You don't need a whole hundreds and thousands of people. It's a region. Yeah. So there, that 448 was enough. The ANC punched just below there. With what? With about almost 50, less than 50 there, or less than 150, with the 307 votes. The EFF performing very poorly with 7 people voting for the EFF, and the IFP performing very poorly with 17. And then you have, because this is probably not a big word, this one, eh? And then you got the Pathetic Alliance getting 1 vote with a pathetic performance there. So yeah, that is because this is in I believe in KwaZulu-Natal, so obviously they are not going to have, the PA is not going to have big numbers there. Siatutuka VD, the results there, 619 votes there. by the MK, the ANC getting 355, the EFF getting 14, the IFP performing very poorly under 10, getting 5, and the PA, who's this one person who's voting for the PA? Who are lawyer? Yeah, I think that's maybe a mistake of a vote, that one. So that was very good. And in Ward 2, the by-elections there, we saw that the MK got 1,915, and the ANC got 1,392, and the EFF with 153. Okay, so that is what we are seeing there. Congratulations to the MK political party. This is what we want to see. We want to see power being taken away from the ANC, because we can't anymore. We can't. If a minister can stand up and say, you are not poor because of VAT. Yeah, okay, it's fine. We are not poor because of VAT. Make it 20K. Because you are missing the point. Yeah, it's nice to talk when you've got blue lights and you don't get affected by load shedding, and you've got aircon at work and everything. It's nice to talk, but yeah, we have come to accept this type of behavior from ANC MPs. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Until we meet again, don't forget to pray. But after you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace. Pan-Africanism. I salute.